What is the definition of a lunatic? It's somebody that's out of their freaking mind. Like if you're that freaking Denver, Colorado Batman movie shooter. You got freaking your eyeballs rolling in the back of your head like a freaking bowling ball rolling down the freaking assembly line like if you're freaking Leonardo DiCaprio. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Moderate View, Victor Goatstar. Thanks, everybody, for joining. I hope you guys had a good Easter. Happy Easter Sunday. Seriously, happy Easter Sunday. I didn't do much on Easter Sunday, sadly. That goes into like the whole, I don't know, like Easter is usually like about family. And if you're going with your family to do like, like bunny hunting or something, that's going to require some patience and some love coming from your heart to take care of the children, to take care of the kids, to make sure that, little Jenny and little Joey are going to go have the most memory-based and packed nostalgia possibly, consider that they could get. Considering if Joey or Jenny are two individuals, children, who know what sex they are, who are indeed children that are protected with their family, with their mother and with their father. That's what we need to think about. So I salute all of the good parents out there. If you are a good parent, you are doing a really good job taking care of your children and making sure that these monsters are not preying on your kids. So I'm not a Christian myself, but I think that Christians are some of the most wholesome, decent people out there. And I really think that's true. Every single Christian that I see on Twitter and social media are always talking about love and kindness and forgiveness. There's rarely any hate coming out of their mouths. It's always about what can we do to bring love and prosperity? And this comes into the conversation of movies. What kind of conversations are we going to have that are going to be indicative of the future of Christianity and the tackle of the solution of the reduction and deficit in the drop of religion? We have, I would say, 36% or so, or about 30%, religion has dropped. And this is Christianity. Now, happy Easter Sunday, and I am not a Christian. I'm not. But I have a lot of values and a lot of morality that derives straight out of King James Bible. Growing up, my mother was a Catholic, and always took us and the kids to school and always made a prayer. I'm Hispanic and my mother is, Hispanic. She's born here and I am born here as well. My dad is also born not here. He's born in Mexico. So, you're like, oh my God, how is, your family 100% good into religion? Like, how do they really, really have that teaching in them to pass it on to me? Well, I don't know. I can't answer that. But what I can know is the fact that since my parents and my mom is really like, a couple of generations in the past raised and born, what I can say successfully is that more than likely, when the percentage ratio of religion was really high, then that means more than likely she was engulfed in a really dreamy, really warm, protective, loving world where there's the sun shining and a blue 1980s Honda Civic passes on the left side of the street, and New York there, the Big Apple and sky towering buildings and yellow taxis passing to the right and all these faces blurred passing left and right. But the number one thing above the entire painting that I just painted in your mind is a beautiful image of strong religion, morality. That is something to ponder about. That is something that a lot of Hollywood and a lot of liberals, and especially it's out there, the trans community really hates that. They really believe something that is not part of what you believe in. It is not part of what Christians believe in. It is a fundamental, radical inversion. And I think Tucker Carlson said it best, that it's like an upside down world where you're walking and you look up on the ceiling and you see, buildings that are upside down, and you see hills that are upside down. And eventually, when you go so far up the mountain top, at the green hill and the gray mountains and the misty cloud blue skies and the yellow sunflowers hanging upside down and the pink little, turnips or tulips, whatever. And then you just reach up like a little kid and you just grab that flower and you smell that flower, and the flower smells like a million different fragrances that are just bombarding and really flooding your nervous system. And you're like, wow. You know what I mean? Is it really that alien? Or is it the same exact planet? Is it the planet that is 2 billion light years away in some sort of system? Is it a planet that has completely different elements? Is it a planet that does not have sunlight? Do these elements that create this life have the same fundamental properties as us? The answer is, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. If you gave me a damn dictionary right now and I looked up the dictionary and the dictionary was 17 million feet thick and as heavy as 1988 Toyota Civics, some red, some blue, some yellow, some got motors hanging out and big smoke everywhere, and all the electrical wires are fried up like the cable guy, Jim Carrey. Is it really the same elements that create us all? And I really don't know. I mean, you would say, yeah, that, that's the anecdotal or that information, that picture that you're painting doesn't really correspond with the topic at hand. Well, let's really look at some fundamental things that are super important for Christians, and then we'll do a deep dive of what does the radical ideologies of modern day liberals believe in, or the trans agenda. What do they believe in? I love peppermint tea. So, Christians, now I'm not a Christian, so I'm not an expert, and I'm not going to get everything right, and I'm not going to get all the information right. But what I can say is that essentially, from what I know about, watching some films like The Passion of Christ and growing up, for the most part, around religion and stuff like that, and seeing some of the posts that really electric charge in my brain. And I was looking at all these tweets on Twitter, and I was saying, wow, this is powerful. This is great. This is the biggest day ever. And Christians have such a large chunk of the pie that it's just magnificent. I'm not a Christian, and I'm going to keep saying that because I need to make it crystal clear the emphasizing of someone with common sense from a super outside world universe, from everyday Christians and people who go to church and pray and pastors, that if I could take a seat back and take a deep breath and calm down and have an adult conversation, like if I was Clint Eastwood smoking on a cigar and chewing on it, and, saliva just really getting enriched with the tobacco leaf and really, tasting that on my lip. If I could really see the good that Christians and Christianity has to offer, then that shows you how much power and how important it is, like a sixth grader passing a geometry test with sky-high numbers, flying colors. This is really essential. Everybody that's listening to my new podcast, make sure you put a thumbs up and you make sure you spread the word about the moderate view, because I'm representing you and common sense and conservatism. Really, I can't believe that my own opinions sometimes get attacked on Twitter or other places just because I'm thinking outside the box. Just because I say, hey, wait a minute. Why does 9 billion Hollywood movies everywhere and all these actors and actresses that are as tall as a giant and as tiny as a freaking Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie from the 90s? How is it that everywhere I go, every single door I open, whether I'm being held by a freaking hook, like if you see in those arcade games or rather those movie theaters back in the days where you go take your girlfriend or boyfriend and then you pick that monster up and then, you get that plush toy and you rub the red fur or the crab or whatever it is. And you're like, wow, the reward and the sensation that is happening makes me and my boyfriend or, your girlfriend feel like this is a great time to be alive. We don't have that electromagnetic protection of ideology or energy or love or safety blanket anymore. You can't see it. You can't smell it. It's not in front of your face. But I'll give you one skyrocket Elon Musk, SpaceX, NASA example of how cataclysmic and astronomically amazing it is to understand living in a world where there's a lot of love and joy. Now, I don't know too much about Japan, but what I can say, rewind the time when it was Christmas. Democrat, red elephant, Republicans, conservatives, think about the time when it was Christmas. Think about how warm and glorious those times are. The whole month that passes. Now, I don't know if it's in my head or if it's in my imagination, like a Pixar movie that has the children completely in disbelief of wonder and awe. Now, I don't know what causes this to really make everybody suddenly act like loving, patriotic, sometimes just good people in America. I'm talking about America in the United States. Now, you're welcome into this conversation from all walks of life, whether you're red, blue, black, white, Asian, Hispanic. Everybody's welcome to my podcast. But what I can say is, do you remember that time in one of your Christmases where every day feels good throughout those 31 days of December? Every single billion second that passes by like a speeding motorcycle crashing into a freaking huge green pile of lush, soft trees. Whether you believe in Christmas or not, or Christianity, that's a different conversation. But what I can say is you can feel it. Whether you're a recluse, I hope you're not. We all need to work. If you work at home, you're still going to see it all over online, especially if you're a gamer on Twitch. I'm somebody who can speak from that extreme, very, very far in the distance that you can't even see the light coming out of the tunnel. I'm way over there, and I can say for certain that even myself, who does not have family, who does not have a wife, who does not have a girlfriend, who is 33 years old and really takes care of himself as a recovering alcoholic with 6 years, going on 7 years of sobriety, I can say even myself, identifying as Mr. Scrooge with a big mustard-filled yellow stinky mustache, scratching my balls, I can say for myself that even in my tall hat and my really nice 1800, nice trench coat, I can say for certain that even when I'm going to work, even when I'm avoiding human beings, even when I'm by myself, I myself can feel the energy and the love in the air. I can feel it. And it's really powerful. And that is the message of today's podcast, is the importance of that energy that can be distributed to our children, our daughters, our sons, our family members, and even people like me who are coming from a 1,700,000 mile tunnel that's so distant you can't even see the light. Even if I can come from that perspective in that area and see and feel and talk about the energy and the love in the atmosphere, there is hope. That is a sign so big, like a billboard in front of your face, or a child with the biggest screen possible in their face on apps and YouTube in the morning. That's a good thing. And this energy is not every day across the world. What do we see? It's like as soon as Sunday is done, boom, we're right back to getting strapped and having our hair speeding 276 miles per hour, and our cheekbones and everything just flapping like a fish out of a water with blue ocean, trying to inhale oxygen. We really need to understand that Christianity is vital and important for this electrifying, loving atmosphere. And people who are not religious, I'm not religious, you got to know Christianity brings a lot to the table. You just got to know. You got to know. And that's very, very important. So, what kind of country do I want to live in? I want to live in a country that has that energy that we feel 7 days a week, 31 days in December of Christmas. Can you imagine? I will tell you, people smile and say Happy New Year about 600 times at work. I work for a popular, famous restaurant in Southern California. And I'm like almost getting tired of it. I'll be honest, like if I have my hand up at a witness stand in court with my right hand on the Bible, I get tired of it. But that's a good thing. It's a very beautiful thing. And you know what I'm talking about. Everybody is feeling that Christmas spirit. That is, I believe, Christianity energy. Whether people don't even realize it or not, why is everybody so happy? What is all this goodness and this love coming that is influencing everybody like duct tape being slapped on somebody's eyeballs and your eyelids are sky open like a giant swimming pool. This is really good news. So at the end of the day, the message is we can be positive. We can love. We can see differences. And I'm really talking about people on the right. I'm really talking about conservatives. I've seen some conservatives who are a little bit nuts. Like if they just had a freaking drill bit drilled into their skull and just really, really like grasping their freaking brain cells and their brain matter and they're just spewing hatred and being really nasty. And I can see their point of view, even if you're on the left. Like if I had the tiniest little magnifying glass with the most perfect vision ever, and I can see microscopically how beautiful an ant leg or antenna looks. And I can see it in like 32K resolution. So the point is that we can really make a difference, all of us. And just got to take a deep breath and just calm down and just really, I think it comes from within. It really comes from within. And Christians probably know way better than me. You guys are the experts. I'll give you that. You Christians are definitely the experts when it comes to love, forgiveness, not harboring resentment like a hate-filled pirate or sailor with a meat hook and a black and white stripped torn t-shirt from like the 1600s with a really wild beard that looks like a dirty freaking dusting little duster, big duster, just like shoving it in there and just cleaning that freaking pipe in the kitchen and just, you know, trying to get that charcoal inside of that wooden stove. And it's just like, no, I'm a pirate. So at the end of the day, it is the values of Christianity that made America great. And it is really that value, if you really, really think about it, and that energy that brings the love, increasing the religious number in America back up, I think will do wonders. Do I want to live in a country without Christians, or even in a world without Christians? Hell no. I don't. I do not agree. I do not want to testify against that. I have my right hand on the Bible, and I'm saying no. That's what I'm saying. But now, to summarize and to really knock it out of the park like Babe Ruth in 1930s, best time of his life, chewing that tobacco and that super big bubble gum popping and those big old school baseball pants and all that stuff, sliding over there in Brooklyn or wherever he's from and getting that brown, light brown dirt all over his butt and all that, and his big man Donkey Kong boobs. What is the difference between different ideologies in the liberal community, in their ideologies, in the insane movies and media. Well, we all know it. We all know this. Trans shooting up schools, killing innocent, beautiful children and elderly Christian parents. This is a hate crime. Shame on that lunatic. And yeah, we talk about forgiveness. I don't want to have that conversation today. I have the right to not have that conversation. Shame on all those damn people. Those millions of crazy lunatics that are really needing some medication. What is the definition of a lunatic? It's somebody that's out of their freaking mind. Like if you're that freaking Denver, Colorado Batman movie shooter. You got freaking your eyeballs rolling in the back of your head like a freaking bowling ball rolling down the freaking assembly line, like if you're freaking Leonardo DiCaprio trying to figure out where the hell you're going to get your next watch from. And then you realize you're a good person. And you're like, you know what? I might be, full of poverty, but hey, man, I'm pretty damn happy. So the ideologies that are extremely polar opposite from Christianity is hate, is resentment, is unwilling to forgive, is murdering children, is behaving in a way that is making Christians feel like they are not wanted. That is not a society that I want to be in. I don't. It is hate. It is rage. It is mutilation. It is evil. So dark, so evil. Like if you were caught in a bad dream where your brain is being smashed on a freaking 200,000 pound door, and it's trying to suck you into this black portal of darkness and nothingness, where everybody is just robots with no souls, like the freaking Borg from Star Trek. Just freaking hive mind drones. You need to do this. You need to believe in that. Everything is just getting burnt and sucked into hell, like a freaking anteater putting his freaking long nose and killing thousands of colonies of ants. Like that really cute ant movie. So, we don't want this damn plague, man. We do not need it. We need more love. Now, I talked about it in my last podcast. I'm not going to talk about it in this podcast, but I will say, Riley Gaines, you are a heroine. I don't know how you say that. You are a hero. Riley Gaines, you are. Thank you for speaking out. We need more. And let me speak to those people who were protesting, acting like lunatics. What the hell is wrong with you? You over there acting like if you just got locked into a closet for like 72 hours and didn't eat for a week, And then when you try to eat, your freaking parents put a hot scolding metal silver fork spoon in your mouth. That's abuse. That hurts. That burns your tongue like if somebody just dripped some freaking lava onto you, man. That hurts. It's not good. You don't want to come from a place of abuse and misinformation and hatred. You want to open that damn door and you want to tell your abusers that I'm not going to be abused anymore. Wake up. Stop attacking good people that are trying to protect children and do the right thing. We're not talking about Michael with a big ass sword coming down and chopping somebody's weenie off. We're not talking about bologna sandwiches being slapped on a freaking 1970s Corvette. We're talking about something that's actually real, that's making sense. And what is real and that makes sense is you do not go and lock those damn doors and hold somebody hostage because they have a different opinion than you. You don't.
College swimmer Riley Gaines says she
That's what somebody who's abused does, who comes from a place of hate, who comes from a place of anger. Calm down. Take a seat and chill out. That is not right. And you know what else is not right? The fact that we have I don't know what it was. It was that Republican place, the freaking court, but the lawmakers and the two Democratic aggressors, because they're aggressors. They were aggressive like a freaking bull that got shot in the ass with 10,000 milligrams of testosterone, yelling and ranting and raving, and then they get kicked out, and then it's controversial. No. If you misbehave like a child, you get treated like a child, you get kicked out. That guy with the afro trying to act like MLK, you're not MLK. You're not. MLK will make your day rainy like if it was a damn flood in London. It rains over there all the damn time. 40 days and 40 freaking nights in Alaska. This is very wrong. There are so many questions. I don't know where to begin. Getting accepted back into the freaking courts after acting like a dog from freaking Belize in a piss-filled street. No. You live in the greatest freaking country ever. See what is good and what is not good. What you guys are doing is not cool. It's not right. So there are so many questions and so many things that I keep seeing, and I'm just like, man, I'm just shaking my head. Just shaking my head. And in other news, we have the Wisconsin Supreme Court seat, and I think it's like another example of insane clown world stuff. It's like reading a freaking 2,000-page Bible upside down. You're turning the pages, but you don't know what the hell you're looking at. You don't know what the hell you're reading. You got to turn that damn page around like if you're driving a Tesla at 200 miles per hour on a freaking freeway after drinking 17 bottles of Jack. Turn it around. Read the damn pages correctly. Somebody was arguing me all these people, I'm not going to name call, arguing with me on Twitter, flooding my tweets up with like 700 freaking tweets about the Dominion voting machine and all this crap. All right, believe what you will, but I have my own opinions and I can say what I want because I live in a place that has free speech, long as I'm behaving civilly, long as I'm not being abusive like the people in the freaking Riley Gaines situation. I don't act like that. I act like I have common sense, and if I hear a difference of opinion, then that's okay. I'm not going to go crazy about it. I'm not. But voter fraud exists, and you got to be a moron to think that's somehow taboo or controversial. Really. Maybe you're not a moron. Maybe you just really believe that, man. Maybe I really believe this. But this is my damn podcast. Now, in Wisconsin, there's a big controversial bribery scheme that happened with the Supreme Court election. Apparently, the rewards was about up to $275 paycheck straight into your pocket. Gift cards. Like if you're winning the freaking lottery jackpot. Like if you're freaking Leela and Stitch. A freaking alien from a different planet. Acting rabid and crazy like a freaking monkey that hasn't had a banana in a month. Everybody was all participating. Ooh, rewards. Ooh, this. Ooh, that. Ooh, I'm going to win a camera. I'm going to win freaking cell phones. I'm going to win some freaking Sony Hot Pockets in the CD. Not Sony Hot Pockets, but a Sony Walkman from the 90s. They're going to win something. This or that. To vote. And about 74 to 76%, correct me if I'm wrong, funding came outside of Wisconsin. Whoop-de-doo. Same thing like Act Blue. So don't sit there and tell me that election fraud does not exist because you damn Democrats do it all the time and you're going to get caught. And you can't continue to do this damn thing. Now, I will correct the situation and say, all right, allegedly, all right, that's my opinion, all right, that's what I believe. But when there's evidence, hard, concrete evidence, it's going to be the day where hundreds of millions of conservatives are going to be like, yeah, justice, baby. Baby back smoke ribs. Finger licking good. Like a beautiful barbecue with family members and sisters and mothers and daughters on Christmas having beautiful energy and loving one another and eating macaroni salad. That's how good it's going to feel when that happens. So don't sit there and say no because you guys are up to something. Those Democrats, those money laundering organizations, you're getting your ass handed to you, and we are not losing the fight. We're not. Now, we need more conservatives to speak up. Comment on this podcast. Tell me if you want to join my podcast. You can call up if you don't have a webcam or if you don't want to get on camera. Call me. Be my guest on my podcast. I welcome conservatives to come here. And if you got common sense and if you're not a conservative, if you're on the middle, the moderate view for those of us who are people with common sense that really care about the direction of this country and want to see us go 17,000 miles per hour down that freaking desert road in Las Vegas to freaking heaven and a tropical paradise. Well, I welcome you to this podcast. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I hope you guys had a great rest of your night. And I hope I sparked a conversation and I made some valid points. Thank you so much.